Hey BookTube, it's Sarah and welcome back to my channel, The Book Bag. Today I'm going to be doing my new 2022 bullet journal setup. So the cards I chose for this spread are the Ace of Wands, which represents good luck, hope, the start of something new, the start of a new bullet journal, hopefully it goes well, I don't know, just thought a new beginning, new bullet journal. The other card I have is the Seven of Cups, which is freedom, adaptability, anything is possible. If one can imagine it, one can create it. So just trying to imbue this new journal with a sense of creativity and experimentation. You might have noticed that I have a completely different bullet journal this go round. I ended up buying one of the Archer and Olive journals during their Black Friday sale because everyone seems to have them and they look so pretty and I'm really excited about it. The pages are incredibly thick and that cover is like a nice linen cover and it's just, it's so pretty. I love it. I had to go ahead and put in page numbers because they aren't already in there and set up the index, which is what I'm doing right now. I just drew little lines with spots for the page numbers and for the spreads. I kind of wish I had maybe done like highlighting or something, like used one of my Zebra mild liners to highlight every other line or something, because it does look a little bit crowded with all the lines drawn on, but it's alright, I'm not mad. I also put a little bit of washi tape along the bottom of the index spreads. They're little cat washi tapes. I didn't want to do like an overall theme for the bullet journal, but it does have a little cat on the front, so I thought it'd be fun to include some of my cat washi tapes along the way just to kind of tie it together. So the next spread I have here is my future log. So I ended up doing 2 spreads for my future log with 6 months each because I found that in my other bullet journal, having it all on one page, having 12 months in one page was really a lot and there wasn't a ton of room to write down any of the things that were going to happen during the year. It kind of worked more as a calendar and I would just use my phone for that, whereas I want this to be able to be used as something that I can consult, write at like YouTube ideas down in, and be able to put all of my events in there to have at a quick glance. So I took some like scrap pages with writing on them and tore them up and made that little border along the top, and then I took some packing paper that I have and made little squares out of them. I used this ruler to kind of rip the edges off so they were about the same size, but they also weren't perfectly like clean cut. They looked a little ragged, but not destroyed. So I used those for the titles for each of the months and glued them onto the paper with the writing on it. After I got those all glued down, I used my brush pen to write in the months of the year. I always find the brush pen is a bit of a struggle on that craft paper because it kind of just wants to almost dissolve it. Like the ink is almost Sharpie-like, and so it tends to catch a little bit on the paper and like the bristles catch as well. But I managed to make it work. And then you can see I'm just taking my Micron fine liner and going and writing in all of the dates of the year. I had to double check all of them because I didn't want to mess them up and have to redo, 365 days. So they should all be correct. I just left the space underneath all the calendars blank so that I can put in like holidays and events and things to do. I also later went back and added a little bit of washi tape and cut off the last little bit so that I could use that as a place to put in ideas for what YouTube videos I want to release that month. Then once those first 6 months were done, I went and did the exact same thing on the next spread. Same paper I tore up, same packing paper for the titles for the months, just wrote them all in there, wrote all the dates out, and left the rest of it blank. So my next spread, I did my grid lines page. So this is just a setup showing how many little like boxes there are in between the dots, and just like some really simple, really useful divisions. So I like do the halfway line, I do like dividing the page into thirds each way, into quarters each way, and that way I can just flip to it super easily and not have to count all the boxes and do division and all that, so I can just take a look at this page. In my previous bullet journal, I had done it as the first page of my bullet journal, but that made it on the right hand side, so it was a lot more difficult to look at that and then go back to the page. This one I did after my future log this time because I wanted to be able to have it on the left hand side of the page so that when I was working on my spreads later on in the year, that I could flip to it and kind of consult it while, at least while writing on like a right hand side page, if that makes any sense. Basically, it's just like easier to look at when I'm working. And then facing the grid lines page, I did a I'm waiting on list. So this is just a tracker so that I can see all of the things that I've ordered and when they're going to come to me, where I ordered them from, when they're shipping, all that sort of stuff. I found this, I think, through an Amanda Rach Lee video, if I'm not wrong. And I used it during this past year, and I really loved it because I get to see the things I'm waiting on. I put in the date it ships, the date it arrives, and any other extra information. So like if I'm sending it to my house, if I'm sending it to my parents' house, because before we got settled in, I was sending stuff to my parents' house so that I would make sure that I would actually get it and it wouldn't get lost or stolen while we were in the process of moving. And then also any like order numbers or things I need to check on. After that, I made my wish list and gift list page. So I just used some more cat-themed washi tape to split the page in half. And then I used a zebra mod liner to draw little border around each half of the page. And I wrote wish list on the top and gift list on the bottom. And this way I can keep track of things that I want. So when my birthday and Christmas come up, I can be like, this is a thing I wanted. But also I can keep track of gift ideas for friends and family and all that, so that when their birthdays and Christmas come up, I can be like, oh right, this person wanted this thing, or I thought this would be a good idea for this person. It's super handy. And I usually just put like sticky notes in there. My friend actually sent me some really cute cat note pages, so I put those in there using some washi tape, and they're just like super useful for being able to keep track of gift ideas. On the opposite page, I'm doing my TV shows tracker. So this is just another thing to keep track of things that I'm catching up on. So I have a column for the series, a column for what date it's released, or like if it's released weekly, which day of the week, a absolutely tiny column where I can write S or E for whether I'm tracking which season I'm on or which episode I'm on, and then the rest of the space I will fill with little bubbles that I can then color in as the TV show airs and as I watch it. So I don't keep up with it super well, but it is nice to be able to see what I'm watching in case I don't watch it for a little bit and want to come back to it. I can see how far along I am, or also just like remind me of TV shows that I have to watch when I'm bored. On the following spread, I am setting up my YouTube tracker. This is another one that I use semi-regularly. I'm not making so much content that I forget where I'm at with most of it, for the most part. But this is also just a nice visualization of which videos I have going on, what date they were filmed, what date they were edited, when I put them into the YouTube video creator thing and like set up the thumbnail and all that stuff. And then I'll space also just for some notes, like if I want to be like, oh, make sure to mention this thing, or make sure to post it this day, or make sure to have a link to this person's video or something like that. So it just kind of helps me visualize all of my videos and see what else needs to be done. So now I am going back to the very beginning of my bullet journal to put my name in the front where it says like this notebook belongs to, and then it has a couple of few lines. So I thought I would do a kind of fun page for myself. I grabbed my brush pen and wrote Sarah in it. And then I was going to use this little picture of Matilda I had, but I am getting another journal that I want to use as a reading journal, so I thought I would leave it for that, and instead grabbed a little picture of a cat that I had. I also used some more of that like packing paper and a little bit more of the paper with typing on it to do a little bit of a layering effect. I also used some stickers that I got from Sticky Club. This was from their, I want to say August vintage pack. It was called something like On My Desk. Anyways, it had a lot of cute like little vintagey stickers. Like I have some wax seals here, like little book with some like gilded edges, and it's just really cute stuff. So I thought altogether it kind of represented me as a person with cats and books and the vintagey look of things. So yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with this little collage of things. So that is my setup for my 2022 bullet journal. These are all of the spreads that I'll use throughout the year, and then I will have another video showing my January 2022 setup. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different from my normal bullet journal videos, but I had a lot of fun making it, and it's a lot of fun setting up a new bullet journal. I kind of wish I could set up a new bullet journal all the time. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you next time.